Alright. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. I don't know what happened. I had to restart OBS. It just said it disconnected, but the internet was fine. And then it had some weird error. I don't know what the fuck happened. It was disconcerting. I'm looking here to try to see if there is a fucking reason. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I don't know. It's annoying. I did this the other day. Make sure those are both connected. So, oh well. All right. Anyways, let's start back. Too funny it broke YouTube? Probably. I'm having DNS. Yeah, I don't. It was a weird error. I didn't get it. Because it was arguing that there was an issue with the stream key, but the account's logged in, so it's automatically passed over. So I don't know if they changed it midstream on me, which would be weird because it never changes, or if something just bugged out and it took a crap. I don't know. I'm not. It was like I lost connection to. I'm using Restream to stream to YouTube and Twitch. I might end up going. I was wanting to go to 60 frames, but I might have to go back to the old setup that I had, because I feel like it was their fault. I think it was me connecting to Restream was the problem. I think if I would have just had a direct connection to Twitch and YouTube, I wouldn't have the issue. So, I don't know. Something to think about. Sorry about that, mates. I had no idea. Oh, wait. We're in fucking ads. God damn it. I guess I'll have a dab while we wait. Well, hopefully it never ever does that again. Yeah. Let's see, while we're doing that. Love my switches, order shipped. What's the day they're going to give us? Because it should be able to get picked up today. Yo! That's awesome. Thursday. It says it'll get to us by Thursday. That's some fucking killer news. Love my switches. Are we back from the ads? All right. No, it's still doing the stupid ad things. God damn it. Devin, yeah, that might be the case. I don't know. We had this happen on Sunday, but it recovered. This one, I kind of waited for a little bit, hoping it would recover, and then eventually I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I got that error, and so I closed out and restarted OBS, and everything popped in fine, and then I hit start, and it worked. So I don't know, man. It's getting hard to stream and not have the internet fuck with you. But good news. Love my switches. Says it'll be here by Thursday. So we should be able to pick up where we left off by Thursday. And it's going to come early. The FedEx cat, well, it'll be like 3 hours into the stream. That's not too bad. I ordered, so I'm in the process of ordering a bunch of stuff. I've got, I just ordered from Love My Switches. Where was it? Some bunch of knobs, black knobs, you know, these kind of guys. The fake Davies knobs, 240 smooth shaft pots and 25 knurled shaft pots. I also bought like 50 more of the little black caps for switches, because I really like them. I think they look sick as hell. And a bunch of stickers. And then I'm about to order, but I'm going to wait. I want to kind of get a little bit further on these builds, but more dress nuts. And then I'm going to order dress nuts for the pots that I have, where it's a knurled shaft, and then I put that little tiny cap on it, so that instead of a big Davies, it's like just fits over the shaft of a knurled. But the problem is the nut's exposed. But if I get these Bafako nuts, they'll fit right over. They'll look beautiful. I also found black nuts covers for the switches. So hopefully that'd be good. Oh, these are the knobs I was talking about. They're like little micro knobs. That's what they call them. More LEDs, some parts, and that's them. And then Mauser, I've got a lot of stuff. There's my red caps. I'm going to try to get some red caps for, what do you call it? The modular, the Sloth DK. Anyways, that's in the future purchase pile. I always scavenge. I'm going to from now on. I mean, I have to kind of buy new stuff, and because I want, you know, uniformity and consistency on the space station, so it just looks like it's all one thing. But yeah, one of those modules too, we're gonna have to gut. I shouldn't have rushed it. I put the other pots on it, and I hate it. The other knobs on, I hate it. It looks silly, so we'll pull those guys off and put proper ones on when we get them Thursday. But anyways, the DK slot, yes, exactly. The DK slot, I wanted to try finding this. I got these red ones. I might swap it out. I might put the red one over in Jamtown because I think it looks sexy, red on black. But we'll see. I'd like to find some cool colors for it. It's not something they print very often, so you kind of have to buy them, but they're like $4 or $5 a cap, so it's like, ugh. Don't want to buy too many of them. Be broke and all capped out. All right. Almost got my dab. We should bump this number up just a little Yeah, the fader tops, caps. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, any hard things that aren't, they won't wear out. I mean, like some of those tops, you know, there's a lot of finger grease and acid will kind of melt away on them, but not everything. Man, it has matching colored knobs. Oh, nice. Nice. Resin printer. Oh man, I did a show ages ago where the inventors of that were looking for investors, and it was this big, fancy pants investors meeting. Like we couldn't stay at the hotel, and they had like snipers on the roof of the hotel. It was crazy. And anyways, they had this resin printer, but it was a really early version of the technology, and like I remember they had to bring in like a hazmat crew to dispose of it. It smelled awful. Like it just smelled like what you would imagine a factory that made cancerous items would smell like all the time. That's what this stuff smelled like. It was pretty bad. I don't recall if anything like they got funding or anything. I don't think they brought any of that shit up, but it was still, that was my first impression. And they were going to make these shoes out of them. I remember that was the idea. That was like their demo, were these like skeleton shoes where it would just be a bunch of braces. And so and it was a cool idea. I think I've seen them before. Like all your steps would have this cushion because it would be in this skeleton and it would displace your weight, but it would do it kind of in this, you know, even format. It was supposed to be helpful for your arches, some shit like that. Whatever. The first resins were really strong though. Yeah. Devin, it's an easy hole to fall down. I mean, I've made stuff from polymer clay and was quite impressed. The idea must have sold somehow because, yeah, I don't think they were the only people in town that were doing that. And honestly, you know, I think back, I'm like, what if the shoes were what they were actually selling and they were just using a resin printer as the way they made the tech? Maybe I'm an idiot. We weren't, like, the crew wasn't allowed to look at that stuff, but we couldn't avoid we had to run cables and stuff in there. So we were in there and, you know, I know what a 3D printer looks like. And I was like, oh, that's a very interesting way to 3D print. Oh, that's bad. Okay, that's real bad. Think it'll get badder? No, let's get closer. Sorry, I'm trying to do Bad from Michael Jackson. Little MJ. Unfortunately, due to the magical artistry of Weird Al, I only know the lyrics to Fat. I don't really know the lyrics to Bad. I kind of do, but then it kind of fades away when it's like your butt is mine, and then I'm like, ham on rye is so much easier to memorize. Ham on a whole wheat, Alright. My buckles bust. Alright, we need 440. Oh no, I'm. Alright. We need 2 4. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna grab him. I'm not gonna try to say it. It's too much. Too much. I like sculpting. Oh well, there you go. Yeah, Weird Al. We wrote a lot of songs too. He wrote, yeah. They're just much more enjoyable for me to memorize the lyrics too. I also, well, I don't know if suffering's the right word because I'm not really think I'm suffering, but I do have what my buddy calls lyricist disease. So basically, I will hear lyrics incorrectly, like almost intentionally, but it's not. It's like a subconscious thing. So I get a lot of lyrics wrong, and I'll just be like singing them one day in the car, like, and you can kind of hear me, and then you look over and you're like, wait, what did you say? And I'll be like, I'm Ted Danson. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're like, that's not the song. What? That's not the... It's I'm Still Standing. No. It's I'm Ted Danson. That definitely makes more sense. Now, I don't understand if it's the actor Ted Danson or if they just mean it's Ted and he's dancing. But that's the lyrics of that song. So that's a prime example of a very early time in my life where I would exhibit the symptoms of lyricist disease, thinking that I'm Still Standing was I'm Ted Danson. I still don't know exactly. I mean, I know the internet has the answers for me now, but we didn't have that back then. And if I insisted enough, people would eventually just let it go, which affirmed to me that I was right. Not a very good move, honestly. Back in '87, I got to walk through Harley Davidson factory in Kansas on the intent type thing. We had to have an NDA. They had the coolest robotic paralyzing machine I couldn't talk about. Label code. Yeah, I don't know. Just a bad armadillo is how my sister used to hear that song. Which song? Amish Paradise. Oh. How you doing, Doey? Good to see you. We are soldering for science. And Simba. A second, what did you say? I think I said. Which song is that? All right, let's drop these like a really cool rap album. I call this one Criminal Intent. Actually, let's drop all of them because I don't want to open this book and shut it over and over like some sort of book opener and shutter. I'm more than that. I'm also a man. Oh shit. I think I just need 2 of these. Here you go. And here you go. This isn't... No. And then 4081s, right? Yeah, 4081s. Do we have it? Do we have it? Yeah. Yeah. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting one of those pen solders machines for the mobile, so I didn't have to carry around. And it would work because, you know, as Doey stated there, you know, it's not very ideal or practical for long jobs. But, you know, most of the time I'm just doing little things. The thing I absolutely have to find and look for is one that provides like either you know, the power for the tip or whatever, where I can get a big thermal mass and be able to utilize that, because I'll be working on a lot of pinball machines, and those things are like fucking just giant thermal vacuum machines. They will suck all the heat away. You have to heat up this whole fucking jack with an iron before the solder melts. And I'm skeptical if a battery powered pen is going to be able to do that. You know, like could it make cables, stuff like that, and where you have to really heat up a large metal plane. Ceramic element, that sounds like a great thing to break. I will break it first before anyone has a chance, and then I will be the break dancer. And one of my favorite, and I don't know, a lot of you guys are probably not big Skinny Puppy fans, but man, Skinny Puppy songs are my favorite to misunderstand the lyrics to. Half the time I was right. It was just thoroughly absurd. I had this old roommate, and we were both pretty big fans, and he always thought it was fucking the best for me to just rip on their fucking how I'd, you know, misget all the lyrics, misunderstand them or whatever. Lyricist disease. We didn't have a term for it back then. Just called it being dumb. But then science caught up. They could put out a pretty good amount of power right now, usually not enough for a big table and stuff, but soldering reasonably sized stuff, that would work fine. The thing you still end up is needing is power source to run them and a full strength or a good sized battery pack. Yeah, and so that's where I'm at. And I mean, if I have to just buy, I've been thinking about I've been wanting to upgrade my solder station. I've kind of been hoping I could maybe like get a sponsorship or something from Veller or Hacko, but I had like really strict rules, like I could still use their competitor, and I don't think a lot of those companies are into that idea. So I'm like, you know what, I might just fucking have to buy it myself. Fine, I'm not a baby, do it, I'm a big boy. And I've been wanting to get like at least a 2-channel station, ideally like a 2-channel station, with switchable tips and everything like that. And they both have one that's perfect. I want either company's one, and for toe to toe they match up pretty much identical, I think, on the specs. I think one has like a slightly less power consumption, but its delivery output is the same. So either there's like a lie, or they have like a more efficient transformer, you know, something like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me because it's really nominal. It's almost like a measuring difference if you wanted to guess. So anyways, they're both the same, and my thought was, well, let me just hold out, and I'll get a brand new station, and I'll take my old station and I'll put that in my work box, my travel kit. But haven't really gotten to that. Well, misunderstood lyrics. So many people asking underworld electronics music. Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't know. My buddy that came up with the whole lyrics says we would just do on and on, like rejected Weird Al parody title after rejected Weird Al parody title, back and forth for I would say like for a whole day. We just sing back at each other, because you had to have the song. You couldn't just do the lyrics, so you'd be like singing back. And you also figured out each other's music idea. He liked a lot of metal, which is pretty fucking easy to get off. He had some like Tool stuff, and I was like, I don't know Tool. He's like, oh, you don't know Tool? I was like, well, I know of them. I'm familiar of their work. Just they never really took off with me. It's not a slight. I listened to all their albums. It wasn't a waste of time. I didn't dislike a single minute of it. Just never connected with me. I don't know why. Maybe I should give him another try, but that's how it is. Oh shit. I didn't fuck up my tweezers, did I? No. Well, no, I fucking screwed up this guy though. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a lot of bands like that people really hype up and they really like, and then I finally listen to them, and I'm like, I recognize their hits, like, oh yeah, I know that. But then it's the other songs where I'm interested. And personally, I have like a really dumb high standard for a lot of musicians. Like I need to like the whole album. And I don't need it to like it 100%, but when it comes to albums, I really enjoy that experience of listening to it from front to back. I really like that. It's kind of the old timer in me of like plopping a vinyl down or a cassette tape or even a CD, and just listening from start to finish and just being like, oh, that's a piece of music. That's a collection of pieces of music that sometimes told a story or created, a vibe, or was just like a representation of where those artists were at that time, like, that collection. And I like that. And I know Tool specifically does that, but it just never, I don't know. It's got to, I hate to say it, I don't know. Maybe it's not even that. I can't really put my finger on it. When I think about artists that I really love that do stuff like that, conceptual albums, it's very heavy-handed. There's no confusion or anything. It's like, yeah, this is clutch. This is an album about aliens coming and taking over the planet, and it's, bunch of crazy stories, and it's weird as fuck. That's clutch. And I'm like, I'm here for that. That sounds like really, these songs are fantastic. I enjoy them. Or here's Primus, here's Sailing the Seas of Cheese. It represents a time in their work and so forth. And I love just listening to those albums all the way through. And if I can't do that, it's kind of a... But anyways, that's with them. There's like a lot of bands. Like Pink Floyd's the same way. I never could really get into Pink Floyd. I always thought they were just kind of... They weren't bad, but I don't know. I never got into it. I'm sure there's some more. I can't think of them, but... Did I put the chip in backwards? Oh, good catch. God damn it. Are they all this way? Oh, weird. It's kind of a worst, best case scenario, isn't it? Let's see if I can utilize the magic of SATA. Land, my pretty, land. Oh, shit. Hold up. Land. Okay. La. Dude, it will not stick. All right, I'm gonna break this up. It's funny for a minute. Okay. It was funny. Now it's not funny. Ah, bruh. We're gonna do the brub step. Stop moving a hand. There we go. Sometimes you gotta talk to your limbs. Otherwise, they don't understand you. It's just like talking to your kids about drugs. Let them know which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. It's not parenting advice. It's Sid advice, which is bad advice. For you. All right. The birth cable has the birth cable. I think that's the belly button, isn't it? Oh, this is a 4029, right? 40, 29 to go. Calgram. All right. I'm already at that point where I gotta take my earplugs out. Oh, it's a hairdryer. Oh, scheisse. Do you have to teach them how to... They would be... Wait, they would be, but... Addictions, choosing one. Well, you know. You have to be... You don't have to get all strung out. You know? No one gets, a little experimentation. A little dipping around the block. You have to slam dance with Mr. Brownstone. Get your sweat loaf in a curl. You don't have to do anything like that, but maybe a little roll around Candy Can Lane. You know, a little backwards motion of the ocean. You know? Little hat waving at a hat waving parade. If you catch my drift. A little sonnet on the water. That's okay. I think that's fine for anybody, really. You know, what do they call him? A weekend warrior? Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Little stroll up Strawberry Hill. Little greeting to the Elf King. A little trans-dimensional love making, you know. I found my drill on Strawberry Hill. I ordered strawberries. They'll be here on Thursday. I don't know if they come from any hilltops, though. I'm doubtful. But goddammit, I can hope. Come on. Soak it up. All right, I think it's in there, but I can't tell, so I'm just going to do that guy. That doesn't even look like it's in. Is it in? That's in. All right, that's perfect. And then we just put a glob here, and we're done. Thank you for playing. Remember, highways are dieways. And there's this drum and bass song called Drill that I really, every time I see the word, I just think of that. It's one of my favorite jams. I think it's a big copyright flag, though. Now we shall begin. Freestyle. No limits. And sanity is the only requirement. Buckle up for the insane. Total trapaholic. Oh, okay, so maybe that's how I got the idea, that some of them went the other way. I don't know, you know? Life is a mystery to me. I only understand it thanks to television and film. Unfortunately, I watched a lot of Thundercats, so that's wasn't super helpful. Let's see here. Switch ears. Lower switch activated. What was I looking for? Totally. Okay. Let's get these guys out of the way. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Alright. Sorry about that. Earlier I wanted to see how much pepper I could snort, and I guess that caught up with me. Don't snort pepper, kids. It's not the high you think it is. Should make a competition called freestyle soldering. Type a soldering tip and want to iron a hot nail or laser. So there is a little bit like so this other content creator, Bald Engineer James, aka James, he kind of came up with a little bit of stuff, and we talked about it. We just never did it. Excuse me, now I got the hiccups. But the idea I had is that we could have like a solder off where or just doing good old fashioned speed run timer, just basically doing a speed run. And the thing would be, you'd have to populate the board, you'd have to put all the components on, and it has to work. If it doesn't work, there would be a demerit of time, and you'd still have to figure out where you went wrong, fix it, and that would be your final time. And we thought about even doing like side by side and having commentation. I had a couple of people I thought might be able to do it, but I don't think I've seen either of those people in a while, so I probably wouldn't have worked. But I know a lot of new people now, so maybe we could find some people to do commentation. But either way, that was kind of one of the silly ideas for it. Hold up. That Snow White Columbia pepper. Well, yeah, not that kind of pepper, just regular pepper. Hey, Lawn Dog, welcome in. Well, Doughy, you'd have to train. Like, you would get, like, that board. Because the likelihood of being able to find a board that no one's made, that's, like, open source and all that, and is going to function, I don't know, man. That's harder. So it'd be easier just to pick a static thing, and you would, you could easily practice with it. I thought just those regular cheap practice PCBs would be a viable option. You could pick your own components, but the board had to be the board. And of course, you want to inspect it, make sure it's good before you enter it, but then that would be your timer, and you could build like 4 or 5 of those things to get your speed down. But yeah, just like a speed run, you'd be trying to beat that score any other time after you've set your initial high, your best time. Exactly. You could do that, or you could do one where, like, some of those are just blind. There's no light or power. You just have to measure. So if you didn't get one of those resistor series right, it'll show open instead of 1K or whatever. So those would all be fun, I think, and would be relatable. It would kind of help to promote to people that you can practice with these things, and they're really cheap, and it's a good way to just check your soldering skills or sharpen them up or whatever. And then at the same time, we'd make tons of money on the back end. Gambling, you understand? We'd own all the side. We'd own everything. No one could ever go against us. If they did. Oh, well, let's not talk about that. There's a culpability here. Let's just say they won't. You're thinking of shortcuts. What are you talking about, Doughy? You have to put all the components on, and it has to work. Full stop. If it has multiple sectors, they all have to work. How are you going to cheat that? Gambling is selling sponsored products, right? Yeah, that's one thing I've kind of decided not to bother with. Like, I know there's a lot of content creators, and I have no problem with it. It's cool. I get it. They're playing that game. That's fine. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. But they're, okay. Hold up. What were we talking about? Sorry, my wife said goodbye. I had to go say bye to her. Steal your strat. Well, it's not going to be very fair if you use a hot plate or solder paste or something like that. That's a totally different division. Well, alright, whatever. Does it get all the components on the board? Neatness counts too, by the way. The rapid prototyping challenge. There you go. Well, I know he came up with, Baldur Jr. came up with a whole deal where you could, he had like a start to finish, like CAD thing where you would have to, I think you had to do the PCB layout. And it had these very limiting factors, like a very small board, so you would have to get pretty clever with your traces. And it was only like a two-sided or one-sided, it was something like that. Like, it had a bunch of limitations to it, but he put it together as like a little, like, try to speed run this, and you know, you could post your times or whatever. I don't think it ever really took off or anything, but it's still out there in the ether, ready to be grabbed and suckled. You can arrange it. Well, they need to be off the board. They can't be physically on the PCB. Because then you can arrange them correctly, like the right values. Making mistakes and avoiding mistakes is a big part of it. Because like I said, I want it to be akin to speed running, so that it, or you know, I want it to have that similarity. So if there is a strat to make it go quicker, then you know, you would share it with the rest of the community, and that way they would all try to still. Then it would be left to skill again. But alas. That, ooh man, I got this weird twitchy jaw thing. It's cool. I think that is all the SMD for this guy. Damn, it's dirty. It's kind of hot. Yeah, I think all that's left on here is through-hole shit. Yeah. There's a power connector and some Vactrols. We'll clean the board off first, and then we'll decide if we want to go any further with it. Anyways, sorry, zoned out. Think about how many paper cups I've touched in my lifetime. All right. In a very rare instance, we're going to pull out a whole sheet of clean room sheet action because this board is big. Oh, there's like a cat hair. Funny. Didn't know Chompers is in this bag. Crazy cat. Let it soak a little bit more juice. It's a laborious process like farming. If only it could be better. The big companies come in and put the big machine up against the others so that they... Paper cuts. I got the cat hair, the good PC. Yeah. Alright. I don't think we're gonna have to do much here, but I'll just do it to do it. Prop this up, put the old I'm so excited about my bench, the bench. I'm such a dork. Like, I just keep thinking about, like, oh man, this cleanup's gonna be so much easier because I'm not having to use this fucking table and all this other shit. Like, I have these silicone mats on here to basically to change, like, the light that reflects off the table. It changes the color temperature quite a bit. It like makes it all yellow and it looks like almost green. So I put these mats down, and this is before I got this one, but there was like a teal mat before, and that was really bad, and so I changed this and so on, and it's finally I got it working, but it kind of sucks too. It has its own drawbacks, and I'm like, man, I just can't wait to be done with this, and I'll have a black table. And then I'll still have this mat, but my plan is to keep it clean because the only reason I have this is because I just don't have anywhere else to put little chunks of shit. Story of my life. Gotta get that good PC today. Oh, cat hair. Yeah, I was looking down at my NAS server, and it had like just all the intakes were covered in cat fur and dust. I live in Arizona, so there's a lot of dust too. Probably like 5 times what anywhere else would get. I told my wife that, like, I was like, you know, if we ever move outside of Phoenix, you're going to be absolutely astonished at how little dust there is. You're going to be like, what's going on? But you'll also be surprised at how many bugs there are. You'll be like, where did all these bugs come from? That was the first thing I noticed. Lack of bugs, a lot of dust. Man, I guess I didn't get this corner very well. There's still a lot of gunk on this. We might have to give this board another little scrubbing. It does feel sticky. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal right now. I think in the world of, remember the movie Seven? Should ask what's in the box. So I think we've got all the modules that are new done that we can. We're waiting on some parts to finish poultry and in a big room, or the big room. I've got some of the I've got the big room stuff on order because I think I just needed some RCA jacks for the back. Maybe some logic. I can't remember. We do have the triple sloth, one of my absolute favorites. And then Divide and Conquer, another Billy Badass module. Razor Rug. And we can't do the Sloth DK yet. We're waiting on parts. And honestly, it's batshit simple. So, wow, we really are down to about 3 modules. So divide and conquer, triple sloth, razor rug. Now we do have, we could do this. We're missing some key parts. It is a 2-part build, so we could populate everything except the two SSI 2190, which are the quad VCAs. That's how I think it's doing a lot of the lifting. There's pretty good spacing, so that is a strong candidate. So the only reason I'm not really in a hurry to do macrame. I finally kind of got over it. Is that the panel is an odd number of HP. It's 21, and it visually bothers me because it's all asymmetrical and everything. And I was kind of hoping he'd make like another one, but then I thought, like, well, what if I just got 2 of these mixers and put them in the same rail, sort of, so that they'd even out. And I'm kind of toying with that. I don't know. I'm not excited about this one as much as I'd like to be. He does put great little messages on the back here. I discovered macrame. It's helped me find myself. I'm gentle now and more creative. Lulu fish of polyester. Lulu fish paw of polyester. Why is it only 3 lines, though? Doesn't even rhyme. That hurts. Hurts me bad. Alright, we're going to put this board in the old uninterested section. Put the panel with it. And do the same with this guy for now. So, I don't know, chat. If y'all have like a leaning, let me know. This macrame, one thing I am attracted to on this guy is how tight it is. This one looks like a nice little challenge. Doesn't look very easy. I like it. I don't have all the parts. I will Thursday. I don't have any more pots. I'm completely out of pots. So I'm kind of bummed about that. You're interested in the divide and conquer? So I built this before, but to be honest, I've had bad luck with it. Like, I never built one that I was very happy with. I think I made like 2. But I think I could do better now. It is a pretty dense build. And then we have the sloth, good old triple sloth. Ooh. I think he shrank this up. This looks a little different. Oh yeah, I think he did, because I think my original ones were 2 boards. I think he finally got it down to 1 board. Good for him. And then the good old razor. We've done this one once before. It's a quick build. Really doesn't take too long. So let's take that one out of the equation. I'm not interested in doing the razor today. Maybe another day. But not today. So that leaves us with the currently favored divide and conquer. And then macrame and sloth. Tell you what, since we have Well, the only problem is I don't think we even have enough LEDs. Because I'm like that low. Unless we wanted to put the colored ones. So I do have like the not the clear lenses, but the ones where the lenses are colored. I could do that. But we could at the very least, populate this board. And we honestly could get away with putting all the jacks on here. And if we didn't do the LEDs, it wouldn't be the end of the world. There's 1, 2, 3. Why does it look like there's more here than there is there? That's weird. 2, 4, 6. So there's 8 LEDs. I don't know if I have 8 of anything. Yeah, I had like a weird, like the interconnect or something was bad. I couldn't quite figure it out. I gave like the one that was working best to a friend, and then I kept the other one, and that one was the worst, and that one hasn't given me any problems. So I don't know. I don't know who to blame. All right. Well, let's do it. We'll save the sloths for another day. I'm kind of intrigued though. I don't think I've done this design. I'm pretty sure mine were sandwiched, so I'm pretty hyped on a new sloth for a new generation. Here, put. Hey, Mr. Chompers, how you doing, buddy? Oh, you just puked? You just came in here to vomit. Thanks, dude. I'm not fucking kidding. I like see him and I'm like, hey, buddy. And then I hear a noise. I look over. He just threw up. And then he like looks over at me and he's like, clean this up. Ah, shit. And then he walks off. It was kind of weird, honestly. So I have to clean that up, so I'm gonna give it a little bit because it's kind of gross when it's warm. Oh yeah, we're gonna take this panel off. Yeah, just like seriously, just like blah. Clean this shit up. And then he like rolls out. Yeah, the plate will only work if it's made of your carpet. Should be honored to clean it up. Yeah, I am. It's the second coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Dude, there is a lot of flux on this thing. It's like caked in it. Look at all that flux. It's like a sweatshirt. Okay. You guys are grossing me out. Which is really hard to do. Let me clean up some cat vomit now. Try to get the grossness out. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo, clean up cat. God, it's not here. That's far worse, if you can believe it. Oh wait, is this like a new container? Alright, whatever. The carpet cleaner 9000 knows all. Actually, I'm gonna wash my hands. All right. What a delightful detour. Let's put some. Pour some flux on me, babe. No, that doesn't work, does it? Man, this board is dense. And intense. It's a pretty cool combination. Alright, so while that's going on, where's my... There it is. Warp whistle here. Pardon me. Trying to pull up the deets here. The deets. Divide and conquer. Or divide and conqueror. Is it possible? Yeah, you can. Well, there's still water. It's still alcohol. You can. It just makes this sound, and that reminds me too much of snakes. That's not cool. It's a pretty small build of materials here. Look on resistors. We got 28 1Ks, 10 100Ks, 8 whatever the fuck the LEDs are, which are probably going to be 1Ks as well. I'm just going to make them 1Ks for RL. Make them bright. Yeah, this is a great example of all the values that you want to buy a lot of. 1K, 10K, 100K. On that Mauser order, I put 1,000 10Ks, so I don't have to buy them for at least a year. Yeah, it's the alcohol that's that's why it's able to evaporate, but you know, Tachyflux is better for SMD soldering. It just takes longer to clean. That's the whole thing with it. It's kind of interesting. I wish I could wrap my head around this better. How we're getting all these. Oh. I mean, it's going to go out in a second. Static in my attic. Alright, there it goes. Whatever, I didn't fucking like it anyways. Man, I wish I could... There's some stuff out there that I've been thinking I really need to dig into. There's like a silly little game on Steam that supposed to be pretty good at teaching you electronics and so forth. And I'm like, you know what? If anything, it just, reaffirms what I already know. Maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe the game aspect of it will keep it fun. And blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of other stuff I've been looking at. And I'm like, man, I really need to learn this. Like, I'm getting into FPGA development. I want to learn about that and get, fucking neck deep into it. But I mean, there's a lot of that I don't even comprehend even the slightest. I'm not even aware of. And so I'm like, well, you'll learn it along the way, but I'm like, maybe I should start learning it now. Maybe not along the way. How about right this minute? Guys, get ready because things are about to get heavy. Jump up because we're going to bump up and get down because there ain't no clown in this here town. We got none than Manado. Wait a sec. Hold up. Manadono coming in with that piping hot. Won't stop. Skiddly Bob. Oh my God, freaking hot. Hooray! Let's go. Let's go. Welcome into the channel. Welcome in, Raiders. Do we do a shout out? Shout out. I don't know. Welcome in. How was the stream? Let me see. Let me pull up your channel here. Let's see. What do y'all do? See some gaming here. Software and game development. Was that what y'all were up to this fine day? The stream was okay, very distracting. Some devs, some games. Oh, nice. Well, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. We're an electronics channel. We focus on getting people into soldering, into making, into building. We mostly do like audio stuff. Like we've got the synth behind me, and then we've got this synth over here. This is the newest one that we've been building called Space Station. It's modular. You can kind of see there's all these little individual things. It's kind of like a Euro rack. And we're working on one right now that's oops. Do it that way. That's this size. This thing does really basic. It just does divisions. You can put an input in here and get a 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and 256 division. And then you can also add in odd, like 3 divided by 2 or 1.5. 2.5 and 3.5, as well as 3 division, 5 division, and 7 division. So you can get some pretty nice combinations with this unit, depending on what you're trying to do. With modular synths, you're always kind of taking like a clock signal that's going to be a high speed and then dumbing it down or taking it down for different modules to behave, like a sequencer to go fast or slow. It's going to take a different division point, but it's always going to be linked up in the same speed as some other device. It's good stuff, good times. We love it here. Feel free to ask any questions. I love soldering and I love audio stuff. Well, then you are in the right place, my friend. You are in the right place. We're applying the flux to this board right now. I've recently been addicted to this stuff. This is Kester 951. It's an alcohol liquid flux. And what I do is I just kind of coat the board with the alcohol, and then I let it evap. Put Mr. Fume Extractor on the case to make it go a little bit quicker. And what's left behind is like flux. And you do this like multiple times. We're on our 3rd right now. I like to do at least 3. And that'll just leave this big film of flux like all over the board. And it's just enough to like solder without having to add extra. Now sometimes I still have to add like tacky flux, but not too often. Usually I just rub the board and I get flux on there and it's all good. But that's our bag, that's our thing. We're all about soldering and electronics and music and electrical music that is made by electronics. Oh, here's the Joj. This does Boolean functions. So you have 2 inputs. You have an OR, a NOR, an AND, a NAND, an XOR, and an XNOR. So they kind of just, the second one always alternates from the other one, basically, or is the inverse of the other ones. But it still very nice to have. This one is missing all the logic chips, but those are on order. We'll get those hopefully soon. I'm trying to figure that part out for sure. I have a question. How do you source a good 2-core cable? I spent 3 hours on Mauser the other week, and the cable is serviceable, but not really. So, is it for audio? When you say 2-core, are you meaning like a twisted pair with a ground shielding running down the side? Because Canair is my jam for that. Okay. I think it's Parts Express that carries Canair cable really cheap. Here, let's work on this together. So let's see. Parts Express, shop. Can we just go with, how thin do you need it? Do you like it to be like Eurorack cable thin, or do you want it to be like guitar cable 1/4 inch thick? GS4. Oh man, I can't remember how you spell their name. Is it Canair? Let's see if I can just find the GS4. Oh, maybe it's not Parts Express. Here, let me look at the label again. Wait, I think I have it right here. Oh, but the name got cut off. Alright, here's a nice long cable. We should have a whole name on it. Oh, really? That is actually where it starts and ends. Oh, here we go. It's so hard to... Canair. So, Canare. Okay, they do not carry Canair. So, let's see here. 4mm. I think this is what you're gonna want, is this GS4 stuff. It's my favorite. So this is 3/8 or 3.8, 3.9mm. That's actually grabbing it. Yeah, it's still, yeah, it's about just shy of 4mm. So it's Canair GS-4. Who carries that? You might just look around to see, but the Canair GS4 is probably... The only downside is, to my knowledge, is it's only one color. It only comes in like black. You can't get like blue and red and stuff like that. But I think that's what you're gonna want for a 4mm throat. Yeah, it's calling it a 4mm as well. So that should be right up on there. Yeah, I'm glad I could help. But I have like I don't know, maybe 50, 70, I don't know. I have a bunch of it left because I was originally going to make patch cables, and then I realized they only cost like $1 or $2. I could just buy them. And now I have it for making custom cables. Like if I need something specific, like I have a couple of really long cables, and I like to do that whenever I'll bring them when I'm jamming, so that if my buddy like is sending me a clock or something, I can run a long cable out to them and get clock signal from them, or vice versa. Yeah, that's man. I feel pretty smart that I knew all that. I'm gonna call. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go call my mom and tell her the good news. I nailed it. All right, this is going to be the last coat of the Juice of Safu. It is by will alone. I set my mind in motion. It is by the power of Kester 951 that the board acquires wetness. The wetness becomes dryness. The dryness becomes flux. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. There you go.
Now it's perfect. Shut the fuck up. Don't even challenge it.
Ah, oh good. Man, honestly, today's been great. Like, we've had a bunch of new faces come in, and they had like a good question, and I literally actually knew the answer to like all of them so far. Well, except where puppies go when they die. I don't have those answers, but I could make them up. Thailand. They love it there. Big sandy beaches. They love it. That's where the puppies go. Thailand. No, we can't go to Thailand. It's really far. It's covered in dogs. Because those puppies grew up. They couldn't stay puppies forever. All right, I'm done. That's as much as I can give on explanations to the mysteries of life. Oh wait, the thing still needs to get sucked off a little bit more. Let's get started with the resistors. There's only 3 values, which is pretty dope if you're not much of a counter. If you're not in accounting, this is like a godsend. You're like, woo! Thank God there was no math today. Oh man, I should get another drink. We're going to be doing this for a minute. How many resistors was it? Not resistors, but how many 1Ks do we have? 28 plus another 8. So I don't know what that is. All right. Nice. Man, someone was bringing it up the other day, or earlier in the stream, I mean. And I've been thought about it earlier too. Like, someone was asking on YouTube, he ever thought about like reaching out to these companies to do product reviews. And I was like, I've thought about it, and I've kind of come to the decision that I don't really want to do it. Those are the right values, right? Oh, it goes to 10. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Maybe? Hold on. Those poor children. No. No, I thought about it. I was like, I would do it, but I'd rather just spend my own money on it. Like, I don't want to get anything because there's always that that implication. And it would be kind of weird. All right, 28. So this is 25. I just need to add 11 more. Mm-hmm. Let's do that first. But I don't know. There's plenty of content out there where people review shit, so it doesn't really. I don't know what I could do super differently that would make it. Oh wow, this is gonna be It's gonna be perfect, just like my wedding. Hey Barney, so wonderful to see you, mate. I was thinking about you not too long ago, and I was like, man, I haven't seen Barney in a while, but you know, I haven't been able to stream that much the last couple months. So I figured those two things just coincided, or, you know. So I'm glad to see you. I hope all is well. I hope you are staying guile. And I know you've had some issues in the past where things have been a little womp womp for you, but I'm hoping those things are all in the past where they belong. You can just chill and try to fucking learn from them by being in hindsight. We are. So I think it's been long enough. You haven't seen our new thing. So of course you know about Jamtown. Everyone loves, knows, and brings in their hearts the power of Jamtown. But have you seen Space Station? Station. It's all nonlinear circuit modules, all DIY, all massive. It's not where the music we're listening to comes from. That's from our good buddy Jay Nothing. But Space Station can and does bring us music. But we're trying to fill in the gaps because there's like, I kind of went nuts for a really long time and just got modules. And then I was like, oh shit. These I just got crazy stuff. I didn't get anything that interacts with each other very well. So that's kind of this stage of the build that we're at. We're kind of adding in normal stuff. And I realized I ran out of room on this thing a long time ago. And I was going to get a bigger case, but for now, I think this will work. And my plan is just to kind of take modules out, put them in a little box or something, you know, and trade them in and out, kind of creating that perfect build. And